Captain Alex Morgan stood on the bridge of the Silent Dawn, watching the stars through the view screen. The ship moved quietly through space, invisible to any alien sensors that might be watching. Alex had been doing this job for 15 years, patrolling the edges of human space where no alien was supposed to know humans existed. "Captain," called Lieutenant Sam Johnson from his station. "We're getting close to the mining operation on Kepler 442c. Everything looks normal from here." Alex nodded. The mining operation was one of hundreds that humans had built in secret over the past 2 centuries. While the rest of the galaxy thought Earth was still a primitive world with barely any technology, humans had quietly spread across 40 different star systems. They had colonies, mining stations, research facilities, and military bases hidden throughout this part of the galaxy. "Take us closer, Sam. I want to check on the new extraction equipment they installed last month." The Silent Dawn was a stealth ship, one of the most advanced vessels in the human fleet. Its hull was covered with special materials that bent light and energy around it, making it nearly impossible to detect. The ship also used a new type of engine that didn't leave the energy signature that most aliens could track. As they approached the mining station, Alex thought about how this had all started. 60 years ago, human scientists had intercepted alien radio signals from deep space. The messages revealed that Earth was surrounded by dozens of different alien species, all part of something called the Galactic Federation. The aliens traded with each other, fought wars, and controlled vast empires across the stars. The discovery had terrified Earth's leaders. Humanity was alone, weak, and completely unknown to these powerful alien civilizations. Instead of making contact, Earth's governments made a different choice. They decided to prepare in secret. "Captain, I'm picking up something strange on long-range sensors," Sam reported. "There's a ship about 2 light years away. It's not one of ours." Alex felt his stomach tighten. "Can you identify it?" "Working on it, sir. The computer is comparing it to our alien ship database." Sam paused, studying his screen. "It's a Zephyrian scout ship, medium class, probably has a crew of about 20. Alex knew about the Zephyrians. They were one of the most aggressive species in the Federation, always looking to expand their territory and find new resources to exploit. Dr. Kevin Walsh, humanity's top expert on alien species, had been studying intercepted Zephyrian communications for years. According to his reports, they were getting suspicious about the ghost ships that other aliens had reported seeing in this region. "Are they heading our way?" Alex asked. "No, sir. They seem to be investigating the Proxima system. But, Captain, if they find the mining operation there—" Alex didn't need Sam to finish the sentence. The Proxima system contained one of humanity's largest secret facilities. If the Zephyrians discovered it, the secret would be out. 60 years of careful preparation would be wasted. "Set course for Terra Nova Command," Alex ordered. "Maximum stealth speed." 3 hours later, the Silent Dawn docked with Terra Nova Command, a massive space station hidden inside a hollowed-out asteroid. The station was the nerve center of humanity's secret empire, coordinating operations across dozens of star systems. Admiral Lisa Carter was waiting for Alex in the command center. She was a tall woman with gray hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. She had been running Terra Nova Command for 8 years, ever since the previous admiral retired. "Captain Morgan," she said as Alex entered, "I've been reading your report. A Zephyrian scout in the Proxima system is bad news." "Yes, ma'am. Are we going to evacuate the mining operation?" "Not yet. We've been preparing for this day for 60 years, Alex. We knew eventually someone would get too close to one of our facilities." Admiral Carter walked over to a large holographic display that showed their entire secret empire. Dozens of star systems glowed with different colors representing colonies, mining operations, research stations, and military bases. "Look at what we've built," she continued. 43 star systems under our control, over 50 million humans living and working throughout this part of the galaxy. We have technology that's decades ahead of most Federation species. We have ships that can outfight anything the aliens can build. Alex stared at the display. When he was a child on Earth, nobody knew any of this existed. The general population still didn't know. They thought humanity was confined to the solar system, slowly developing the technology to maybe reach the nearest stars someday. "Ma'am, what are your orders?" "We're activating the Prometheus Protocol. It's time to prepare for the possibility that our secret might be discovered." Alex had heard of the Prometheus Protocol, but never seen it implemented. It was humanity's plan for what to do if aliens discovered their hidden empire. The protocol involved revealing selected military assets, preparing for possible conflict, and positioning human forces for maximum advantage. "How long do we have?" Alex asked. "Dr. Walsh thinks the Zephyrians will start a systematic search of this region within the next few weeks." "They're not stupid, Alex. They know someone has been operating ships in this area, and they're determined to find out who." Admiral Carter touched a control on her desk, and the holographic display changed to show human military assets. Alex was amazed by what he saw. Hundreds of warships were scattered throughout the hidden empire. Some were small, fast scout ships, like the Silent Dawn. Others were massive battleships that could take on entire alien fleets. "We've been building this fleet for decades," Admiral Carter explained. "Every ship uses our most advanced technology. Stealth systems, artificial intelligence, weapons that the aliens have never seen before. If we have to fight, we'll be ready." "But ma'am, won't revealing ourselves cause exactly the kind of conflict we've been trying to avoid?" Admiral Carter smiled grimly. "Alex, the conflict was always inevitable. The Federation doesn't tolerate independent civilizations. Once they discover us, they'll demand that we submit to their authority and hand over our technology. We've studied their history. They've destroyed dozens of species that refused to join them." Alex understood. Humanity had spent 60 years preparing for this moment. They had built an empire in secret, developed superior technology, and positioned themselves across dozens of star systems. Now it was time to see if all that preparation would be enough. "What are my orders, Admiral?" "Return to patrol duty, but stay close to our major facilities. If the Zephyrians discover any of our operations, you'll be part of the first response team." Admiral Carter looked at the holographic display again. "And Alex, start thinking of yourself as more than a patrol captain. If this goes the way I think it will, you're going to be part of something much bigger than secret patrols." As Alex left the command center, he realized that everything was about to change. Humanity's age of hiding was coming to an end. Soon, the galaxy would learn that humans were not the primitive species they appeared to be. The war was about to begin. Lieutenant Sam Johnson gripped his control stick tighter as the nightfall shook from another near miss. The Zephyrian fighters were faster than expected, and his ship's cloaking device had failed at the worst possible moment. "Engine power is down to 60%, called out Ensign Jake Phillips from the engineering station. "I can give you more speed, but we'll be completely visible to their sensors." Sam cursed under his breath. The nightfall was supposed to be a simple reconnaissance mission near Kepler 442. Intelligence had reported increased Zephyrian activity in the system, and Sam's job was to observe and report back. Instead, He found himself in the middle of a firefight that could expose humanity's entire secret empire. "Sir, they're trying to disable our engines," reported Corporal Amy Bell from the weapons station. "They want to capture us, not destroy us." That was the last thing Sam wanted to hear. If the Zephyrians captured his ship and crew, they would learn about human technology. Worse, they might torture his crew for information about other human operations. "Return fire," Sam ordered. "Target their engines. Let's see how they like being disabled." The Nightfall's weapons were unlike anything the Zephyrians had seen before. Instead of energy beams or missiles, the human ship fired streams of microscopic projectiles accelerated to incredible speeds. The projectiles tore through alien armor like it was paper. 2 Zephyrian fighters exploded in balls of fire. The third fighter backed off, clearly surprised by the human weapon's effectiveness. "Sir, the remaining fighter is sending a message," reported communications specialist Lisa Carter. "They're demanding that we surrender and identify ourselves." Sam knew he had only minutes before more Zephyrian ships arrived. The smart thing would be to run, but running might lead the aliens back to human space. He had to make a choice that could affect the entire human race. "Send a message back," Sam decided. "Tell them we are representatives of the human coalition, and we are prepared to defend ourselves." Meanwhile, on Earth, President Helen Davis sat in the most secure room in the White House. The room didn't officially exist, and the people meeting, there were members of the Shadow Council, a secret government that had been preparing for this day for 60 years. "The Zephyrians have made contact with one of our ships," reported General Paul Martinez. "Lieutenant Johnson managed to escape, but not before revealing that humans have advanced military technology. The aliens know we exist now." President Davis looked around the table at the 12 people who really controlled humanity's destiny. These were the leaders who had overseen the secret expansion into space, the development of advanced technology, and the creation of humanity's hidden empire. "How long before they start looking for our other operations?" asked Director Caroline Foster, who ran the Civilian Intelligence Agency. "Days, maybe weeks," replied Dr. Maya Collins, humanities expert on alien communication. "I've been monitoring their transmissions. The Zephyrians are already spreading word about the encounter to other Federation species. They're calling us an unknown technological threat." General Martinez leaned forward. "Ma'am, we need to activate all military assets immediately. If they're going to find our colonies anyway, we should be ready to defend them." "I disagree," said Caroline Foster. "We should try diplomatic contact first. Maybe we can negotiate some kind of agreement." President Davis had been dreading this moment for her entire presidency. She knew it would eventually come. But she had hoped it would be later, when humanity was even better prepared. "Dr. Collins, what do we know about Zephyrian diplomacy?" "They're aggressive but not completely unreasonable," Maya replied. "They respect strength and despise weakness. If we appear weak, they'll try to conquer us. If we appear strong, they might negotiate." "Then we show them strength," President Davis decided. "General Martinez, begin revealing our fleet assets. I want the Zephyrians to understand that humanity is not an easy target." 3 days later, Captain Ben Rodriguez received the classified message he had been expecting for years. The Prometheus Protocol was now active. Ben commanded the Silent Storm, one of humanity's most advanced battleships. The ship had been hiding in the Centauri system for 5 years, disguised as a research station. "All hands, this is the captain," Ben announced over the ship's communication system. "The Prometheus Protocol is now in effect. We are no longer hiding from the galaxy. Prepare for possible combat operations." Ben's crew had trained for this moment, but he could see the nervousness on their faces. They had all grown up knowing that humanity had enemies among the stars, but actually facing those enemies was different from just knowing about them. "Captain," called out Navigation Officer Troy Adams, "we're receiving orders to rendezvous with the First Fleet at coordinates Tango 77, Ben smiled. The First Fleet was humanity's main battle force, consisting of 50 of their most powerful warships. For years, these ships had been scattered across human space, hidden and waiting. Now they were coming together for the first time. Set course for the rendezvous point. Maximum speed." As the silent storm raced through hyperspace, Ben thought about the message they had received from the Zephyrians 3 hours earlier. It was addressed to the leaders of the human coalition and demanded that humanity surrender all territorial claims outside the solar system and submit to Federation authority. The message also threatened military action if humanity refused to comply. The Zephyrians had given them exactly 7 days to respond. Dr. Maya Collins was working frantically in her laboratory on Titan, Saturn's largest moon. The facility was one of humanity's most important research centers, completely hidden from alien observation. Maya had spent years studying alien languages and communication patterns, and now her work was more important than ever. "The Zephyrian message is deliberately insulting," she explained to Admiral Lisa Carter via secure communication. "They're not just demanding surrender. They're treating us like primitive barbarians who stumbled onto technology we don't understand." "What do you recommend for our response?" Admiral Carter asked. "We need to demonstrate that we're not primitives. Our response should show advanced understanding of galactic politics, superior technology, and most importantly, that we're not afraid of them." Maya had been working on humanity's reply for 2 days. The message needed to be perfect. It would be humanity's first official communication with an alien species, and it would set the tone for everything that followed. "Admiral, I recommend that we reveal some of our capabilities in the response. Not everything, but enough to make them think twice about attacking us." While Maya worked on the diplomatic response, humanity's military was preparing for war. Captain Derek Stone commanded a squadron of stealth fighters based in the asteroid belt. His ships were equipped with the latest artificial intelligence systems and weapons that could penetrate any known alien defenses. "All fighters, this is Stone," he transmitted to his squadron. "Intelligence reports that Zephyrian scout ships are approaching the outer solar system. We are authorized to intercept and engage if necessary." Derek had been waiting for this moment his entire career. He was a third-generation military pilot, and his family had been part of the secret space program since its beginning. His grandfather had helped build the first hidden bases beyond Earth, and his father had commanded one of the early stealth ships. "Squadron leader, this is Control," came a voice from the hidden command center on Ceres. "Zephyrian ships are now entering our outer defense perimeter. You are cleared to engage at your discretion." Derek smiled as he activated his fighters' combat systems. The aliens were about to learn that humanity was not as helpless as they appeared. "All fighters, weapons free. Let's show them what humans can do." The first real battle between humans and aliens was about to begin, and Derek Stone was going to fire the first shot. Admiral Ross Turner watched as his ships emerged from their hiding places throughout the galaxy. For the first time in human history, the entire First Fleet was coming together in one place. 50 massive warships appeared on his tactical display, each one representing decades of secret construction and advanced technology. "Admiral, all ships report ready for combat operations," announced Captain Troy Adams from the communications station. "The fleet is at your command." Ross had dreamed of this moment for 20 years. As a young officer, he had helped plan humanity's military expansion into deep space. Now he was in command of the most powerful fleet in human history, and possibly the most advanced fleet in the galaxy. "Signal all ships," Ross ordered. "This is Admiral Turner. Today, humanity stops hiding. We take our place among the stars, and we do it on our own terms." The alien response to humanity's emergence had been swift and predictable. The Zephyrian Collective had declared humans to be dangerous primitives with stolen technology and demanded immediate surrender. 3 other Federation species had joined the Zephyrians in threatening military action against human colonies. But Ross was not worried. Human intelligence had been studying these species for decades. They knew their ship designs, their weapons capabilities, and their tactical preferences. More importantly, the aliens knew almost nothing about human technology. "Admiral," called out Navigation Officer Amy Bell, "long-range sensors are detecting a large alien fleet approaching from the Vega system. Estimated arrival in 6 hours. "How many ships?" "At least 200, sir. Multiple species represented." Ross nodded. The aliens were trying to intimidate humanity with superior numbers. They didn't understand that humans had been preparing for exactly this scenario. "Order the 2nd and 3rd fleets to their assigned positions. It's time to show the galaxy what human engineering can accomplish." On the planet New Olympia, Colonel Amy Bell stood in the command center watching the approaching alien fleet on the main display. New Olympia was humanity's largest secret colony, home to over 2 million people who had lived their entire lives knowing they might someday have to fight for their survival. "Colonel, the planetary defense grid is fully operational," reported Major Ben Rodriguez. "All orbital platforms are armed and ready." Amy had been the military commander of New Olympia for 3 years. The planet's defenses were unlike anything the aliens had seen before. Hidden weapons platforms surrounded the planet, each one equipped with artificial intelligence systems that could target multiple enemies simultaneously. "What's the status of the civilian evacuation?" "All non-essential personnel have been moved to the underground shelters. The shelters can protect the entire population for up to 6 months if necessary." Amy walked over to the tactical display. The alien fleet was still 12 hours away, but she could already see their formation. The aliens were approaching directly, confident that their superior numbers would overwhelm any human defenses. They were about to learn how wrong they were. "Major, signal all defense platforms. When the aliens enter weapons range, they are to fire without warning. We are not going to give them the chance to demand our surrender." Captain Derek Stone led his fighter squadron through the asteroid field near Proxima Centauri. His 12 fighters were the most advanced craft humanity had ever built, each one equipped with artificial intelligence that could react faster than any biological pilot. "Stone Squadron, this is base control," came a voice through Derek's headset. "Alien scouts are approaching your position. 4 Zephyrian interceptors moving fast." Derek smiled. The Zephyrians were known for their aggressive flying and powerful weapons, but they had never faced human fighters before. "All fighters, this is Stone. Remember your training. Let the AI handle the targeting. You focus on flying. These aliens think they're the best pilots in the galaxy. Let's prove them wrong." Derek's fighter was equipped with weapons that fired streams of microscopic projectiles at incredible speeds. The projectiles could penetrate any known alien armor, and the AI targeting system could track and engage multiple enemies at the same time. "Contact," called out Lieutenant Emma Clark from Fighter 3. 4 bogies approaching fast from Sector 7. Derek could see the alien fighters on his display. They were moving in a tight formation, probably planning to overwhelm the humans with concentrated firepower. Break formation, Derek ordered. Engage at will. The human fighters scattered in different directions, using their superior maneuverability to confuse the aliens. The Zephyrian pilots tried to follow, but human fighters could turn and accelerate faster than anything the aliens had seen before. Derek locked onto the lead Zephyrian fighter and fired. His weapons tore through the alien ship's armor in seconds, causing it to explode in a brilliant flash of light. "One down," Derek reported. "These aliens aren't as tough as they think they are." Director Nathan Brooks sat in the Intelligence Center on Europa, Jupiter's ice-covered moon. The facility was one of humanity's most secret installations, dedicated to gathering information about alien civilizations. For decades, Nathan's teams had been intercepting alien communications and studying their technology. "Sir, we're receiving reports from our agents throughout the galaxy," reported Agent Julie Murphy. "The aliens are mobilizing their fleets faster than we expected." Nathan had spent 15 years building humanity's intelligence network. Human agents, using advanced disguise technology, had infiltrated several alien governments. These agents provided information that had helped humanity stay hidden and prepare for eventual conflict. What are our agents reporting? The Federation Council is meeting in emergency session. They're debating whether to declare humans a galactic threat and authorize the use of biological weapons against our colonies. Nathan felt his blood run cold. Biological weapons were the one thing humanity feared most. Despite all their technological advances, humans were still vulnerable to alien diseases and engineered viruses. Order all agents to gather information about Federation biological weapons programs. We need to know what we're facing. Yes, sir. There's something else. Agent Clark reports that several smaller alien species are questioning the Federation's response to humanity. They think the Federation is being too aggressive. This was good news. Nathan had hoped that some aliens would see humanity as a potential ally rather than a threat. The Federation was not popular with many of the smaller species, who felt oppressed by the larger, more powerful civilizations. Tell Agent Clark to make contact with these dissenting species. Carefully. We might be able to gain some allies in this conflict. Back on Admiral Turner's flagship, the tactical situation was becoming clearer. The alien fleet was massive, but it was also composed of ships from different species using different technologies. The aliens would have trouble coordinating their attack. "Admiral," reported Captain Adams, "our stealth ships are in position around the alien fleet. They don't know we're there." Ross smiled. While the aliens had been moving their large fleet toward human space, humanity's stealth ships had been moving into position around them. The aliens thought they had the advantage of numbers, but they were about to be surrounded. "Signal all ships," Ross ordered. "In 30 minutes, we begin Operation Starfall. Let's show the galaxy that humanity doesn't surrender." Lieutenant Sam Johnson was back aboard the Nightfall, but this time he wasn't alone. His ship was part of a squadron of 12 stealth vessels, all positioned around the alien fleet. Sam's job was to target the alien command ship when the attack began. "All ships, this is Admiral Turner," came the voice through Sam's headset. "Operation Starfall begins in 10 minutes. Remember, we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for the future of humanity." Sam checked his weapons systems one more time. The Nightfall was armed with humanity's most advanced torpedoes, each one capable of destroying ships much larger than itself. "Nightfall Squadron, this is Johnson. Target the alien command ship. When we hit them, their entire fleet will be in chaos." The countdown reached 0, and Sam fired his torpedoes. All around the alien fleet, human ships opened fire simultaneously. The aliens had expected to face a small, desperate human force. Instead, they found themselves surrounded by advanced ships using weapons they had never seen before. The real war was just beginning, but humanity had already proven one thing. They were not going to be easy to defeat. Fleet Admiral Grace Wong stood on the observation deck of the Terra's Might, watching as the massive shipyard revealed itself. For 50 years, the construction facility had been hidden inside the Oort cloud, disguised as a collection of ice asteroids. Now, as alien fleets approached human space, it was time to show the galaxy what humanity had really been building. "Admiral, all Terra-class battleships report ready for deployment," announced Captain Kelly Barnes from the command center. "We have 12 ships fully operational, with 8 more coming online within the next 48 hours. Grace smiled as she watched the battleships emerge from their construction bays. Each Terra-class ship was over 3 kilometers long and carried enough firepower to destroy entire fleets. The aliens had never seen anything like them. "Signal. The fleet," Grace ordered. "This is Admiral Wong. Today the galaxy learns that humanity is not a species to be underestimated. Deploy all ships to defensive positions." The Terra-class battleships were the pinnacle of human engineering. Their hulls were made from materials that didn't exist in nature, created in zero-gravity foundries using processes that took decades to perfect. Their weapons could fire across entire star systems, and their shields could absorb energy attacks that would vaporize normal ships. But the battleships were just part of humanity's hidden arsenal. As Grace watched, hundreds of smaller vessels emerged from hidden bases throughout the solar system. Cruisers, destroyers, fighters, and support ships all moved into formation, creating the largest human fleet in history. Dr. Lucas Gray was in his laboratory on Ganymede, putting the finishing touches on humanity's greatest technological achievement. The quantum tunnel network had taken 20 years to develop, and it would change the nature of warfare forever. "Dr. Gray," called his assistant, Dr. Angela Reed, "all tunnel stations report ready for activation. We can begin full deployment whenever you give the order." Lucas had dreamed of this moment since he was a graduate student studying quantum physics. The tunnel network would allow instantaneous communication and transportation across vast distances, giving humanity an enormous advantage over aliens who still relied on conventional faster-than-light travel. "Begin activation sequence," Lucas ordered. "Establish connections to all major human colonies and military bases." The quantum tunnels used principles of physics that most alien species didn't understand. While aliens had to spend days or weeks traveling between star systems, humans could now move ships and supplies instantly across their entire empire. "Activation successful," reported Angela. "All tunnel stations are online and synchronized. We now have instant communication with every human facility in the galaxy." Lucas watched as the test data flowed across his screens. Messages that would normally take months to reach distant colonies were now arriving in seconds. More importantly, human fleets could now coordinate attacks across multiple star systems simultaneously. "Send a message to Admiral Turner," Lucas said. "Tell him the network is operational. We can support coordinated operations across the entire galaxy." Captain Derek Stone was about to test humanity's most advanced fighter technology in real combat. His squadron had been equipped with the new AI-assisted targeting systems, and they were approaching a Zephyrian supply convoy near Alpha Centauri. "Stone. Squadron, this is base control," came the voice through Derek's headset. "Target convoy consists of 12 freighters and 6 escort fighters. Destroy the freighters, capture any survivors for interrogation." Derek's fighter was linked to an artificial intelligence that could process information faster than any biological brain. The AI could track multiple targets simultaneously, predict enemy movements, and coordinate attacks with other fighters. In real time, all fighters, this is Stone. Let the AI handle the targeting, but remember that you're still in command. Engage at will. The human fighters approached the convoy at high speed, using their stealth systems to remain invisible until the last moment. When they finally revealed themselves, the Zephyrian pilots had only seconds to react. Derek's AI immediately identified the most dangerous targets and began firing. His weapons tore through alien ship armor like tissue paper, destroying 3 enemy fighters in the first 10 seconds of combat. "This is incredible," reported Lieutenant Emma Clark. "The AI is showing me enemy weak points I never would have noticed. Their ships have design flaws we can exploit." The battle was over in less than 5 minutes. The entire Zephyrian convoy was destroyed or captured, and no human fighters were even damaged. "Base control, this is Stone. Mission accomplished. These new systems are beyond anything I've ever seen. The aliens don't stand a chance against this technology." Colonel Gary Hughes was leading the assault on the Federation Research Station in the Vega system. The station was heavily defended, but Gary's troops were equipped with powered armor that made them nearly invincible. "All units, this is Hughes. We have confirmation that the station contains biological weapons intended for use against human colonies. Our mission is to capture the facility intact and secure all research data." Gary's armor was a masterpiece of human engineering. It enhanced his strength by a factor of 10, provided complete protection against radiation and biological weapons, and included targeting systems that let him engage multiple enemies simultaneously. "Colonel, we're encountering heavy resistance in Section 7, reported Sergeant Tony Davis through the squad communication system. "The aliens have some kind of energy weapons we haven't seen before." "Copy that, Davis. Remember your training. The armor can absorb a lot of damage, but don't get careless. We need to take this station intact." Gary moved through the station corridors with his assault team, using their superior technology and tactics to overwhelm alien defenders. The Federation troops were brave, but they had never faced humans in powered armor before. Section 7 is clear, reported Davis. "We've captured 12 alien scientists and secured their computer systems. This place is full of biological weapons research, Colonel. They were definitely planning to use diseases against our colonies." Gary felt anger rising in his chest. The aliens had been preparing to commit genocide against humanity, using biological weapons to kill millions of innocent people. This discovery would justify everything humanity had done to prepare for war. "Secure all research data," Gary ordered, "and make sure the prisoners are treated well. We're not like them. We don't murder innocent people." Dr. Angela Reed was overseeing humanity's terraforming operations from her control center on Mars. The new terraforming technology could transform dead worlds into Earth-like planets in a matter of months, giving humanity access to unlimited living space. Dr. Reed, reported her assistant, Dr. Martha Young, "The terraforming operation on Kepler 442d is proceeding ahead of schedule. Atmospheric composition is now within acceptable parameters, and we can begin introducing Earth plants and animals next week." Angela had spent her entire career developing the terraforming technology. The process used advanced nanotechnology to restructure planetary atmospheres and climate systems, creating conditions suitable for human life. "What's the status of the other terraforming projects?" "We have active operations on 15 worlds, with 12 more scheduled to begin within the next month. At this rate, we'll have over 50 habitable worlds within the next 5 years. This capability terrified the Federation. Most alien species fought wars over habitable planets because they were so rare. Humanity could create as many habitable worlds as they needed, making them independent of alien-controlled territory. "Send a report to the military command," Angela said. "Tell them we can support human expansion to any star system they can secure. We're not limited by the availability of habitable worlds anymore." Admiral Turner received the reports from all human operations simultaneously thanks to the new quantum communication network. The news was better than he had dared to hope. Human fleets were winning battles throughout the galaxy. The new AI-assisted weapons were proving devastatingly effective against alien ships. Human ground forces in powered armor were capturing alien facilities with minimal casualties. And the terraforming technology meant that humanity could establish new colonies anywhere they could defend them. "Signal all fleet commanders," Turner ordered. "Begin Phase 2 of Operation Starfall. We're moving from defensive operations to offensive strikes. It's time to show the galaxy that humanity is here to stay." Captain Ben Rodriguez was commanding one of the Terra-class battleships as it approached its first combat operation. His target was a Federation military base that controlled shipping lanes throughout this sector. "All stations report ready for combat," announced his weapons officer, Lieutenant Ashley Harris. "Targeting systems are locked onto the enemy base." Ben had served on many ships during his career, but nothing had prepared him for commanding a Terra-class battleship. The ship's weapons could destroy targets from distances that seemed impossible, and its defenses could withstand attacks that would obliterate entire fleets of conventional ships. "Fire when ready," Ben ordered. The battleship's main guns fired, once sending streams of energy across 3 light-years of space. The Federation base simply vanished, along with the 12 ships that had been defending it. Ambassador Ryan King stood before the Galactic Council for the first time in human history. The massive chamber on the neutral world of Concordia contained representatives from over 200 alien species, and every eye was focused on the human who had emerged from decades of hiding. "Honored delegates," Ryan began, his voice carrying clearly through the chamber's translation systems. "I am Ambassador Ryan King, representing the Human Coalition. We come before you today not as conquerors, but as a species seeking our rightful place among the stars." The reaction was immediate and intense. Several alien delegates began shouting protests, while others demanded explanations for humanity's secret expansion. The Zephyrian representative, a tall insectoid creature named Vrextal, stood up aggressively. "This species has violated every principle of galactic law," Vrextal declared. "They have established illegal colonies, hidden military forces, and attacked Federation vessels without provocation. They must be stopped before they threaten the stability of our entire civilization." Ryan had prepared for this moment for years. He activated a holographic display that showed images from across the galaxy, images that would shock every delegate in the chamber. Honored delegates, what you call galactic law, has been used to justify centuries of oppression. While hiding, from your notice, humanity has discovered the truth about Federation practices. We have evidence of genocide, slavery, and systematic exploitation of weaker species. The images showed Federation forces destroying entire planets, enslaving primitive species, and conducting experiments on sentient beings. Ryan's intelligence teams had gathered this evidence over decades of careful observation. "The Andrean people," Ryan continued, pointing to images of a reptilian species, "have been forced to mine dangerous crystals for the Federation for over a century. Thousands have died from radiation poisoning, while Federation officials profit from their suffering." Ambassador Cathara of the Andrean Republic tried to speak, but the Zephyrian delegate cut her off. Ryan noticed the fear in her large yellow eyes and understood that she wanted to confirm his words but was too frightened to speak against the Federation. These allegations are lies spread by a dangerous primitive species, Vrextal protested. Humans cannot be trusted. They have proven their aggressive nature through their secret military buildup. Ryan smiled calmly. We built our military in secret because we knew the Federation would not tolerate an independent species with advanced technology. Our hiding was an act of self-defense, not aggression. General Sharon Price was commanding the liberation of the Andrean system at that very moment. Her fleet of human warships had surrounded the Federation garrison, and her ground forces were preparing to free the enslaved Andrean workers. General, the Federation defenders are requesting permission to surrender, reported Colonel Amy Bell. They claim they were only following orders. Sharon looked at the tactical display showing the Andrean mining facilities. Intelligence reports indicated that over 50,000 Andrean workers were being held in conditions that violated every principle of civilized behavior. Tell them they can surrender, but only after they release all Andrean prisoners and provide medical care for the injured. Any Federation personnel who mistreated prisoners will face trial for war crimes. Sharon had seen the intelligence reports about conditions in the mines. Andrians were forced to work 18-hour shifts in dangerous radiation environments with minimal food and no medical care. Those who became too sick to work were simply left to die. Colonel, deploy medical teams to the mining facilities immediately. Some of those prisoners may not survive much longer without treatment. Captain Tony Davis was leading one of the first human units into the mining complex. What he saw there made him sick with anger. Andrean workers, their scales dulled by radiation poisoning, looked at the humans with expressions of hope and disbelief. "This is Davis to all units," Tony reported. "Conditions here are worse than we thought. These people have been tortured and starved. Get the medical teams down here immediately." An elderly Andrean worker approached Tony cautiously. The alien's scales were covered with radiation burns, and he could barely stand. "Are you really here to help us?" the Andrean asked in broken Federation standard. "The guard said no one would ever come for us." Tony felt tears in his eyes as he looked at the suffering creature. "Yes, we're here to help. You're free now. No one will ever force you to work in these mines again." Dr. Angela Reed was analyzing the ancient alien archive that Captain Tony Davis had discovered on a dead world near the galactic core. The archive contained historical records going back thousands of years, and the information it revealed was damning for the Federation. "This is incredible," Angela told her research team. "According to these records, the Federation has destroyed over 40 different civilizations in the past 2,000 years. They call it integration, but it's really systematic genocide." The archive described how the Federation would approach primitive species with offers of membership and advanced technology. Once the species became dependent on Federation support, they would be gradually enslaved or eliminated. "Look at this entry about the Calarian Empire," said Dr. Martha Young, Angela's assistant. "They were a peaceful species with advanced art and philosophy. The Federation claimed they were a cultural threat and sterilized their entire home system." Angela realized that this information could change the entire political situation in the galaxy. If smaller alien species learned the truth about Federation history, they might support humanity against their oppressors. "Copy all this data and transmit it to Ambassador King immediately. He needs to present this evidence to the Galactic Council." Back on Concordia, Ryan was presenting the archive data to the shocked Council delegates. The evidence of Federation Atrocities was overwhelming, and several smaller species were beginning to speak out against their oppressors. "The truth is clear," Ryan declared. "The Federation maintains power through fear and violence. They have committed genocide against dozens of species, and they plan to do the same to humanity once they discovered our existence." Ambassador. Cathara of the Andrian Republic finally found the courage to speak. "The human allegations are true. My people have suffered under Federation rule for generations. We welcome any species brave enough to challenge their tyranny." Other small species began to voice similar support. The Talarian Confederacy, the Rigel Free Worlds, and the Outer Rim Alliance all declared that they had suffered under Federation oppression. Rextal was becoming desperate. "These species are clearly being influenced by human propaganda. We cannot allow a dangerous primitive species to destabilize our entire civilization." Ryan activated another holographic display, this one showing Federation plans for biological warfare against human colonies. "This is what the Federation calls civilization. They were preparing to murder millions of innocent humans with engineered diseases." The evidence was undeniable. Federation scientists had developed viruses specifically designed to kill humans, and they had planned to deploy these weapons against civilian populations. Several council delegates stood up and began walking out of the chamber. The revelation that the Federation was planning genocide had shocked even their allies. Dr. Kelly Barnes was putting the finishing touches on humanity's most advanced military technology. The temporal displacement drive allowed ships to briefly phase out of normal space-time, making them completely invulnerable during combat. "Dr. Barnes," called her assistant. "The first test is ready. Captain Stone's fighter squadron is standing by." Kelly had worked on this project for 8 years, ever since humanity's physicists had discovered how to manipulate time on a local scale. The technology was dangerous and complex, but it would make human ships nearly invincible. "Begin the test. Remember, they can only stay displaced for 30 seconds at a time, and they need at least 5 minutes between uses." Captain Derek Stone activated the displacement drive just as enemy missiles were about to hit his fighter. The world around him seemed to freeze, and the missiles passed harmlessly through his ship as if it didn't exist. "This is incredible," Derek reported. "I'm completely invisible to their sensors. Their weapons can't touch me. The displacement drive would revolutionize space combat. Human ships could become intangible just long enough to avoid enemy attacks, then return to normal space to fire their own weapons." "Stone Squadron, return to base," Kelly ordered. "The test is a complete success. We're ready to begin installing these systems on our entire fleet." As the day ended, the political situation in the galaxy had completely changed. Ryan's presentation to the Galactic Council had exposed the Federation's crimes and gained humanity several powerful allies. The liberation of the Andrian system had demonstrated humanity's commitment to freeing oppressed species. Most importantly, the advanced technology that humanity continued to reveal was proving that they were not primitive newcomers to be dismissed. They were a major power that could challenge the Federation's dominance. The war was entering a new phase, and humanity was no longer fighting alone. Admiral Scott Baker stood on the bridge of the Earth's Fury, watching as the largest space battle in galactic history began to unfold. The Void Nebula stretched out before him, its swirling clouds of gas and cosmic dust providing cover for over 1,000 warships from both sides. "Admiral, enemy fleet composition is confirmed," reported Captain Rachel Moore from the tactical station. 800 Federation ships, representing 12 different species. They're using a standard Federation attack formation. Scott smiled grimly. The Federation was making the same mistake that most alien species made when fighting humans. They assumed that superior numbers would guarantee victory. They didn't understand that humans had been studying their tactics for decades. "Signal all ships," Scott ordered. "Execute Battle Plan Omega. Let's show them what coordinated warfare really looks like." The human fleet was smaller. Only 300 ships. But every vessel was equipped with advanced artificial intelligence that allowed perfect coordination between all units. While the alien ships struggled to communicate between different species using different technologies, human ships moved as if controlled by a single mind. "First wave incoming," announced Lieutenant Gary Hughes from the sensor station. 200 Zephyrian fighters approaching from Sector 7. "Deploy AI fighter squadrons," Scott commanded. "Show them what our unmanned fighters can do." The human AI fighters launched from their carriers like swarms of deadly insects. Each fighter was controlled by an artificial intelligence that could react faster than any biological pilot, and they moved in perfect coordination with each other. Captain Derek Stone was piloting one of the few manned fighters in the battle, leading a squadron of AI-controlled craft. His job was to provide human intuition and creativity to supplement the AI's perfect reflexes. "Stone Squadron, this is base control," came the voice through Derek's headset. "Engage the Zephyrian fighters. Show them how humans and AI work together." Derek watched as his AI wingmen spread out in a complex pattern that confused the alien pilots. The Zephyrians tried to follow human tactics they had studied, but the AI fighters were using strategies that no alien had ever seen before. "Target the lead Zephyrian formation," Derek ordered his AI squadron. "Maximum aggression pattern." The AI fighters attacked with mechanical precision, their weapons finding weak points in alien armor that biological pilots would never have noticed. Within minutes, the entire Zephyrian fighter wing was destroyed. "This is Stone," Derek reported. "Enemy fighters eliminated. The AI coordination is incredible. It's like fighting alongside perfect soldiers who never make mistakes." Back on the Earth's Fury, Admiral Baker was coordinating the main battle between capital ships. The Federation fleet was trying to use their traditional tactic of overwhelming firepower, but human ships were using their advanced technology to even the odds. "Admiral, the Federation Dreadnought Conquest is targeting our position," reported Captain Moore. "They're charging their main weapon." "Activate temporal displacement systems," Scott ordered. "Let them waste their shot." The Earth's Fury phased out of normal space-time just as the alien dreadnought fired. The massive energy beam passed harmlessly through the space where the human ship had been, striking nothing but empty space. "Displacement complete. Returning to normal space," reported the navigation officer. "We're directly behind the Conquest now." "Fire all weapons," Scott commanded. The human battleship's advanced weapons tore through the alien dreadnought's rear armor, causing massive explosions throughout the enemy ship. The Conquest, pride of the Zephyrian fleet, broke apart in a ball of fire. Colonel Gary Hughes was leading ground forces in the assault on Fortress Zeta, the Federation's most heavily defended military installation. The fortress was built into an asteroid and protected by energy shields that could withstand planetary bombardment. "All units, this is Hughes," Gary transmitted to his assault teams. "Remember, we need to capture this facility intact. Intelligence reports that they have information about Federation biological weapons programs." Gary's troops were wearing the latest powered armor, which made them nearly invincible against conventional weapons. But Fortress Zeta was defended by the Federation's elite troops, who had been preparing for human attacks. "Colonel, we're encountering heavy resistance in Section 12. reported Sergeant Tony Davis. They have some kind of energy weapons that can penetrate our armor. Copy that, Davis. Remember your training. Use your mobility advantage. These aliens aren't used to fighting enemies who can move like we can. Gary's armor allowed him to jump incredible distances and move at superhuman speed. He bounded through the fortress corridors, using his enhanced strength to tear through alien defensive positions. Section 12 is clear, reported Davis. We've captured the main computer core. These aliens were definitely planning biological attacks on human colonies. We have evidence of at least 6 different viral weapons. Gary felt sick as he read the intelligence reports. The Federation had been preparing to commit genocide against humanity, using diseases specifically engineered to kill human beings. This discovery would justify everything humans had done in this war. Dr. Kelly Barnes was in her laboratory on the research ship Innovation, making final adjustments to humanity's newest weapon system. The quantum resonance torpedo could destroy targets by disrupting the molecular bonds that held matter together. Dr. Barnes called her assistant, Dr. Martha Young. The first production batch is ready for testing. We have 12 torpedoes ready for combat deployment. Kelly had been working on this project since the war began. The quantum torpedoes used principles of physics that most alien species didn't understand, and they could destroy targets that conventional weapons couldn't even damage. Load them onto Captain Rodriguez's ship, Kelly ordered. His target is the Federation shipyard at Rigel 7. If these weapons work as designed, we can cripple their ship production capacity. Captain Ben Rodriguez was approaching the Rigel 7 shipyard in his stealth ship, Silent Thunder. The facility was heavily defended, but Ben's ship was equipped with the newest cloaking technology that made it completely invisible to alien sensors. "Captain, we're within torpedo range," reported his weapons officer, Lieutenant Ashley Harris. "The shipyard has 47 ships under construction, including 6 dreadnoughts." "Fire all quantum torpedoes," Ben ordered. "Let's see what these new weapons can do." The quantum torpedoes struck the shipyard and simply erased it from existence. The massive facility, along with all the ships under construction, simply vanished as if it had never existed. "Target destroyed," reported Ashley, in amazement. "The entire shipyard is gone. No debris, no radiation, nothing. It's like it was never there." Ben realized that humanity had just deployed a weapon that could erase matter from existence. The implications were staggering. No alien defense could protect against weapons that simply deleted their targets. Admiral Baker received reports from all human operations throughout the galaxy. The Battle of the Void Nebula was a complete victory, with over half the Federation fleet destroyed. Human ground forces were capturing alien installations throughout the galaxy. And the new quantum weapons were proving devastatingly effective. "Signal all fleet commanders," Baker ordered. "Begin Phase 3 operations. We're moving to assault the Federation's core systems. It's time to take this war to their home worlds." Captain Rachel Moore was commanding a squadron of human ships, approaching the Zephyrian home system. Her target was the planet Zephyr Prime, the species' capital world and military headquarters. "Captain, long-range sensors detect massive defensive installations around the planet," reported her tactical officer. "Energy readings suggest they have planetary shields and orbital weapons platforms." Rachel had been preparing for this mission for months. Attacking an enemy homeworld was the ultimate test of human military capability. The Zephyrians would fight desperately to defend their most important planet. "Signal the fleet," Rachel ordered. "This is where we prove that humanity cannot be defeated. Deploy all weapon systems and prepare for maximum resistance." The attack on Zephyr Prime would be the largest military operation in human history. If they could defeat the aliens on their own home world, the war would effectively be over. Lieutenant Sam Johnson was piloting his fighter toward the planet's surface, leading an assault on the Zephyrian Military Command Center. His mission was to capture or destroy the alien leaders who had started this war. "All fighters, this is Johnson," Sam transmitted. "Remember, we're not here to destroy their civilization. We're here to end their ability to threaten innocent species. Target military installations only." Sam's fighter was equipped with precision weapons that could destroy specific buildings without harming surrounding areas. Unlike the Federation, which used massive bombardments that killed millions of civilians, humans fought with surgical precision. "Target the command bunker," Sam ordered his squadron. "End this war with minimal casualties." As human forces attacked throughout the galaxy, it became clear that the Federation was losing. Their superior numbers meant nothing against human technology and tactics. The war that was supposed to destroy humanity was instead destroying the Federation itself. The tide had turned completely, and humanity was winning. Fleet Admiral Steve Nelson stood in the command center of the massive space station Victory, watching as Operation Starfall reached its climax. Across the galaxy, human forces were simultaneously attacking 12 of the Federation's most important strongholds. The operation required perfect coordination across thousands of light years, something that would have been impossible without humanity's quantum communication network. "Admiral, all fleet commanders report ready for synchronized attack," announced Captain Linda Walsh from the communications station. "Operation Starfall begins in 30 seconds. Steve had planned this operation for 6 months, studying every detail of Federation defenses and coordinating with dozens of human fleet commanders. The simultaneous attack would stretch Federation forces beyond their breaking point and demonstrate humanity's ability to conduct warfare on a galactic scale. "Signal all commanders," Steve ordered. "This is Admiral Nelson. Today we end the Federation's ability to threaten innocent species. Execute Operation Starfall." At that moment, human fleets attacked Federation bases from the Outer Rim to the Galactic core. The attacks were perfectly timed, preventing the Federation from moving reinforcements between threatened positions. Captain Julie Murphy was leading the assault on the Federation naval base at Wolf 359. Her squadron of stealth ships had been waiting in position for hours, watching as alien defenders prepared for an attack they knew was coming, but couldn't prevent. "All ships, this is Murphy," she transmitted to her squadron. "Target the orbital defense platforms first. Once their shields are down, we move to the surface installations." Julie's ships used their quantum torpedoes to erase the alien defense platforms from existence. The Federation defenders had never seen weapons like these before, and they panicked as their strongest defenses simply vanished. "Defense platforms eliminated," reported Lieutenant Ashley Harris. "Moving to Phase 2, targeting the shipyards." The Federation shipyard at Wolf 359 was one of their largest construction facilities, capable of building dreadnoughts and other massive warships. Julie's mission was to destroy the facility without harming the thousands of alien workers inside. "Deploy precision strike teams," Julie ordered. "Remember, we're targeting the construction equipment, not the workers. Give them time to evacuate." Human fighters swept through the shipyard complex, using surgical strikes to destroy machinery while leaving. Escape routes open for alien civilians. Within an hour, the facility was completely disabled, but civilian casualties were minimal. "Base control, this is Murphy. Wolf 359 shipyard is neutralized. 0 civilian casualties reported." General Peter Cox was commanding the defense of Earth as the Federation launched their final desperate attack on humanity's homeworld. The alien fleet was massive, over 500 ships representing every species in the Federation. But Peter was confident in Earth's defenses. General, enemy fleet. Entering the outer solar system, reported Colonel Amy Bell from the Planetary Defense Center. They're coming in fast, probably planning to overwhelm our defenses with sheer numbers. Peter smiled as he looked at the tactical display. The aliens didn't know about Earth's hidden defense network. For 60 years, humans had been building weapons platforms throughout the solar system, disguising them as asteroids and space debris. Activate all hidden platforms, Peter ordered. Let them see what Earth can really do. Thousands of weapons platforms revealed themselves throughout the solar system, each one equipped with advanced AI targeting systems and quantum weapons. The Federation fleet found themselves surrounded by firepower they never knew existed. All platforms, open fire, Peter commanded. The battle for Earth lasted only 3 hours. The Federation fleet was completely destroyed, with human forces suffering minimal casualties. The attack on humanity's home world had failed catastrophically. Captain Tony Davis was leading a special operations team in a daring raid on the Federation, capital of Nexus Prime. His mission was to capture the Federation Council and end the war through diplomatic means rather than total destruction. Davis team, this is Control, came the voice through Tony's headset. Intelligence reports that the Federation Council is meeting in emergency session. They're debating whether to surrender or activate their final solution weapon. Tony felt ice in his veins. Intelligence had discovered that the Federation possessed a planet-killer weapon, something they called the Galaxy Cleaner, that could sterilize entire star systems. If the alien leaders became desperate enough, they might use it against human colonies. Copy that, Control. We need to reach the council chamber before they make any desperate decisions. Tony's team moved through the alien capital using advanced stealth technology that made them invisible to Federation sensors. Their powered armor allowed them to move at superhuman speed while remaining completely silent. Team leader, this is Harris, reported Lieutenant Ashley Harris. I have visual on the council chamber. 12 Federation leaders present, along with about 30 guards. Remember, we want them alive if possible, Tony ordered. These leaders have information we need about other Federation weapons and allies. The assault on the council chamber was swift and precise. Tony's team neutralized the guards within seconds, using non-lethal weapons that incapacitated rather than killed. The Federation leaders found themselves surrounded by humans they had never seen coming. You are under arrest for war crimes, Tony announced to the shocked alien leaders. You will be treated according to galactic law, something you never offered, to your victims. Dr. Martha Young was making a breakthrough that would change the nature of life and death itself. Her consciousness transfer technology allowed human minds to be preserved in synthetic bodies, ensuring that humanity's heroes could continue serving even after their biological deaths. Dr. Young, called her assistant, the first test subject is ready. Admiral Turner volunteered for the procedure. Admiral Ross Turner had been killed in the Battle of the Void Nebula, but his brain had been preserved using advanced medical technology. Now, Martha was attempting to transfer his consciousness into a synthetic body that would be stronger and more durable than his original form. Begin the transfer, Martha ordered. Remember, we're not just preserving his memories. We're preserving everything that makes him human. The consciousness transfer was successful. Admiral Turner opened his eyes in his new synthetic body, his mind intact and his personality unchanged. He was still human, but now he was virtually immortal. Admiral, how do you feel? Martha asked. Different, but still myself," Turner replied. "This technology could revolutionize warfare. Human soldiers who can't be permanently killed, leaders who can serve for centuries. The Federation has no answer for this." Martha realized that she had given humanity the ultimate advantage. While alien leaders grew old and died, human leaders could serve indefinitely, accumulating experience and knowledge across multiple lifetimes. Back on the Victory, Admiral Nelson was receiving reports from all human operations. Operation Starfall had been a complete success. Every targeted Federation stronghold had been captured or destroyed. The simultaneous attacks had shattered Federation coordination and left their remaining forces isolated and vulnerable. "Admiral, we're receiving surrender offers from 6 different Federation species," reported Captain Walsh. "They're requesting terms for separate peace agreements." Steve smiled. The Federation was falling apart as individual species abandoned the alliance to save themselves. The unified alien front that had seemed so threatening was proving to be much weaker than humanity had feared. "Signal all fleet commanders," Steve ordered. "Begin Phase 4 operations. We're moving to liberate the remaining oppressed species and establish the new galactic order." Captain Rachel Moore was approaching the prison world of Tartarus 7, where the Federation kept political prisoners from dozens of species. Her mission was to free the prisoners and expose another example of Federation brutality. "Captain, long-range sensors detect the prison facility," reported her tactical officer. "It's heavily defended, but the garrison seems to be preparing to evacuate." "They're probably planning to kill the prisoners before we arrive," Rachel realized. "All ships, maximum speed. We need to get there before they can commit more atrocities." The human fleet arrived just in time to prevent a massacre. Federation guards were preparing to execute thousands of political prisoners when Rachel's ships appeared in orbit. "Attention Federation forces," Rachel transmitted. "Surrender immediately or face the consequences. We will not allow you to harm those prisoners." The Federation garrison surrendered without a fight, and human Marines quickly secured the prison facility. Among the freed prisoners were leaders of several oppressed species who had been secretly working against Federation rule. Lieutenant Sam Johnson was piloting his fighter on a reconnaissance mission near the Galactic Core, searching for remaining Federation military assets. What he discovered would change the strategic situation completely. "Base Control, this is Johnson," Sam transmitted. "I've found something incredible. There's a massive Federation fleet hiding in the Sagittarius Nebula. At least 300 ships, including some designs we've never seen before." The discovery meant that the Federation still had significant military. "Dr. Young," reported her assistant, "delegates from 14 species have volunteered for consciousness transfer. They want to dedicate their extended lives to building the new galactic order." Martha realized that her technology was creating a new form of leadership where the best and wisest individuals could serve for centuries, accumulating experience and wisdom that would benefit all species. "Begin the transfer procedures," Martha ordered. "We're creating the foundation for a golden age of galactic civilization." Captain Rachel Moore was assigned to lead the first exploration mission beyond the galaxy's edge. Her fleet of advanced ships would search for new worlds and new civilizations, carrying the message of the Galactic Cooperative to whatever they might find. "All ships, this is Moore," Rachel transmitted as her fleet prepared to depart. "We're not just exploring new worlds. We're carrying the hope of an entire galaxy with us. Whatever we find out there, we approach it with the values that built our new civilization." Commander Ashley Harris was part of Rachel's exploration fleet, piloting one of the most advanced ships humanity had ever built. The vessel was equipped with technologies that had been developed during the war, but now those technologies would be used for peaceful exploration instead of combat. "Commander, long-range sensors are detecting something incredible," reported the ship's artificial intelligence. "There appear to be other galaxies beyond our own, some of them showing signs of advanced civilizations." Ashley realized that humanity's greatest adventures were still ahead of them. The galaxy they had just liberated was only the beginning. Beyond the edge of known space lay infinite possibilities and new challenges that would test everything they had learned. As the exploration fleet departed for the unknown, the former Federation worlds were already transforming under the leadership of the Galactic Cooperative. Oppressed species were rebuilding their civilizatio. Admiral Chris Taylor stood on the bridge of the New Dawn, leading the largest fleet in human history toward the galactic core. The final Federation stronghold lay hidden in the Sagittarius Nebula, protected by the most advanced alien technology, and the desperate determination of those who had nothing left to lose. "Admiral, all Allied fleets report ready for the final assault," announced Captain Julie Murphy from the Fleet Coordination Center. "We have forces from 12 liberated species joining our attack." Chris looked at the tactical display with satisfaction. The fleet approaching the galactic core included not just human ships, but vessels from the Andrian Republic, the Talarian Confederacy, and 10 other species that humanity had freed from Federation oppression. For the first time in galactic history, multiple species were working together as equals rather than under the domination of a single power. "Signal all ships," Chris ordered. "This is Admiral Taylor. Today we end the Federation's reign of terror forever. Today we build a galaxy where all species can live in freedom and peace." The Battle of the Galactic Core would be remembered as the largest space battle in the history of the galaxy. Over 2,000 ships from dozens of species converged on the Sagittarius Nebula, where the last Federation fleet waited in desperate defiance. Captain Derek Stone was leading the first wave of fighters into the nebula. His squadron included pilots from 6 different species, all working together using human coordination technology that allowed perfect communication between different types of aircraft. "All fighters, this is Stone," Derek transmitted. "Remember, we're not just fighting for humanity. We're fighting for every species that wants to live free from Federation tyranny." The nebula was filled with dangerous gas clouds and energy storms that would normally make large-scale combat impossible. But human ships were equipped with advanced navigation systems that could plot safe courses through the chaos. "Contact," reported Lieutenant Emma Clark. "Federation fighters approaching from Sector 12. Multiple species using desperate tactics." The Federation pilots fought with the fury of those who knew they were fighting their last battle, but they were outnumbered and outgunned by the combined forces of the Liberation Fleet. "This is Stone. Enemy fighters eliminated. The path to the Federation. Command ship is clear." Captain Ben Rodriguez was commanding one of the Terra-class battleships as it approached the massive Federation fortress at the center of the nebula. The fortress was a technological marvel, built into a dead star and protected by energy shields that could absorb the power of an entire fleet. "All weapons, target the shield generators," Ben ordered. "Coordinate with Allied ships for maximum effectiveness." The combined fleet fired simultaneously, using weapons from a dozen different civilizations augmented by human targeting technology. The Federation shields held for several minutes before finally collapsing under the overwhelming assault. "Shields down," reported Lieutenant Ashley Harris. "The fortress is vulnerable." "All ships, begin final assault," Ben commanded. "End this war." Colonel Gary Hughes was leading the ground assault on the Federation command bunker deep inside the fortress. His team included human Marines in powered armor and alien soldiers from the liberated species, all working together to capture the Federation's remaining leaders. All units, this is Hughes, Gary transmitted. Intelligence reports that the Federation Council is preparing to activate their doomsday weapon. We need to reach them before they can destroy half the galaxy. The doomsday weapon was the Federation's final threat, a device that could destroy entire star systems by triggering artificial supernovas. If activated, it would kill billions of innocent beings across hundreds of worlds. Team Alpha, take the left corridor. Team Beta, go right. We surround them and give them no chance to activate their weapon. Gary's forces moved through the fortress with practiced efficiency, using their superior technology and training to overwhelm the desperate Federation defenders. The alien guards fought bravely, but they had never faced the combined might of multiple species working together. "Colonel, we've reached the command center," reported Sergeant Tony Davis. "The Federation leaders are inside, but they've sealed the blast doors." "Use the quantum charges," Gary ordered. "We're going in." Dr. Angela Reed was aboard the command ship, monitoring the quantum resonance patterns that would indicate if the Federation tried to activate their doomsday weapon. Her instruments could detect the unique energy signature of the weapon's charging sequence. "Admiral Taylor," Angela reported, "I'm detecting massive energy buildup from the fortress core. They're trying to activate the doomsday weapon." Chris felt his blood run cold. If the Federation succeeded in activating their weapon, they could destroy the entire Liberation fleet and countless innocent worlds in a final act of spite. "All ships, concentrate fire on the fortress core," Chris ordered. "Stop them from activating that weapon at any cost." The Liberation fleet poured everything they had into the fortress core, using quantum torpedoes, plasma cannons, and exotic weapons from a dozen different civilizations. The ancient structure began to crack under the assault. Gary's team breached the command center just as the Federation leaders were entering the final activation codes for their doomsday weapon. The human colonel tackled the alien commander, wrestling the activation device away from him just seconds before the weapon would have fired. "Weapon secured," Gary reported. "Federation leadership captured. The threat is neutralized." As the battle ended, representatives from the liberated species gathered aboard the New Dawn to discuss the future of galactic civilization. Ambassador Ryan King had been working with these species for months, developing the framework for a new kind of galactic government. "Friends," Ryan addressed the assembled delegates, "today we have an opportunity to build something that has never existed before. A galaxy where all species are equal, where the strong protect the weak instead of exploiting them." Ambassador Cathara of the Andrian Republic spoke first. "The Andrian people owe their freedom to humanity. We pledge our support for any government that upholds the principles of justice and equality." Other delegates voiced similar support. The Talarian Confederacy, the Rigel Free Worlds, and dozens of smaller species all agreed to join what they called the Galactic Cooperative, a democratic alliance that would replace the authoritarian Federation. President Frank Johnson addressed the new galactic government from Earth, outlining humanity's vision for the future. His speech was broadcast to every world in the galaxy, carrying a message of hope and cooperation. "Citizens of the galaxy," Frank began, "today we end an age of oppression and begin an age of freedom. The human species does not seek to dominate the galaxy. We seek to serve as guardians of liberty, protectors of the weak, and partners with all who value justice." The speech outlined the principles of the Galactic Cooperative: equality between species, protection of primitive civilizations, democratic government, and the peaceful resolution of conflicts. We invite all species to join us in building a better galaxy, Frank continued. A galaxy where scientific advancement serves all beings, where resources are shared fairly, and where every species can develop according to its own values and traditions. Dr. Martha Young was already working on the technology that would make the new galactic civilization possible. Her consciousness transfer technology would allow the wisest leaders from each species to serve for extended periods, providing stability and continuity to the new government.